more plants. What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to the build, the studio build. It's all coming along so good. I've just bought some new stuff. I need more room for hardscape. So yeah, obviously this section here is like hardscape world, but I've got quite a few big tanks still up in the old studios to come down, and they're full of hardscape, so that stuff's gonna have to go somewhere. Now I've used everywhere pretty much. All the surfaces are covered. So I've got like these cages to go like here. So there's like a U of hardscape that you just walk in and you've got loads to pick from. So I think that'll work quite well. As I was just editing this, I literally saw those areas above as well. So I can go up there, that's good. Oh, and the other side. What am I talking about? There's still plenty of room for things. But it'll be good to get some cages here as well. Would the cages fit up there? No, that'll look silly, would it? I better just build them first, to be honest. Well, I have to say, really good job, Amazon. I only bought one of these because I was worried they might be a bit too flimsy, but it's pretty solid, to be honest. Very cheap. I'll leave a link if you're interested, because yeah, it's pretty nifty. Nifty, is that the right word? I don't know. It'll do the job anyway. So back over in studio number 2, you can see here, look, looking pretty bare. We're doing all right. We've just got this big tank here and this big tank as well that needs to go into the new studio. All my rainbow fish are in there though, and this is the filter. I've just bodged it a bit, but this is the filter that's running on their tank. So they've got everything they need. I want to keep all of those rainbows. I also want to keep my 2 electric blue Aquaria that you can see here in the Amazon tank. Oh look, my Plex, oh Bristol noses, sorry. Bristlenose plecos, they're absolutely huge, look. Whoa, keeping those. But yeah, what I want to attempt now is to get all of this into the other studio. So this is going to be a workbench, essentially. It'd be nice to actually have a place where I can put stuff on and, you know, film and use, you know, a usable worktop. In these 2 studios, any work surface was with tanks. Tanks go straight on them because there wasn't enough space for anything else. It's not like I could put something in the middle here because you couldn't get to anything at all. Now I'm gonna have to break this one down. It's got some nice plants in there actually. I might take out some of them that are looking good and bunch them up. Mostly stems, you see, so that's fine, I can do that. I can't move it across like that, not possible at all. This one though is just basically plant storage and some fish in there as well. The fish will be going back to the shop, so I'll be bagging them up. Now I could actually carry it probably if I drain that down. To be honest, I might as well just take everything out and put it back in again because, you know, it is plant storage. I'm going to need to store those plants. They look so good. They're running really healthy. You're wondering what this light is. It's just an LED floodlight, and I made a little L bracket out of wood and then just used a bolt to sort of clamp it with another bit of wood. Actually works really well, and the plants grow great as well. We already know that though. We know the plants grow great with LED floodlights. They just get way better colour and grow even better with the more expensive lights. Really good option if you're just starting out. You don't want to spend a load of money and you're pretty nifty with electrics. Just get yourself some LED floodlights. They'll grow plants great as a really good start, a really affordable start. So yeah, I did initially envisage this with it coming in the middle. You know, there's like a big working surfacey area to do stuff on, prepare plants, that kind of thing. There's plenty of space, to be honest, to this tank, look. Get the whole lot in one shot quite easily. And then if I've got tanks here as well, yeah, I can easily get like a 4 foot in a shot and a 4 foot in a shot. But the thing is, maybe it's because I haven't had it in here, and now I have, that I'm finding it a bit garish, is that the right word? I don't know. Do you know what I mean though? It's kind of, it feels like I've got to walk around it, but then there's no other way of doing it. I suppose I could cut it in half, and then I could have a smaller one in the middle, and then I could have another one in this area here, because it's just sort of wasted space. That would come out to about, no, again, it's just stuff you've got to walk around all the time, isn't it? I could put them together, you see, and have the cube, but also it does make sense to have them here, doesn't it? Because otherwise that whole area in the middle is just, well, what is it? What's the point of it? I mean, I know it's nice to have space, but it's also, like, there's plenty of room to just walk around everything. Obviously, there are going to be some tanks in this section as well. There's still room for that, so I think I'll just keep it here for now at least. I really do need to sort out that black though. That needs repainting. I mean, this is covered in sand still. I haven't even wiped it. It's ridiculous. Right, so that is that desk area taken care of. Now, I've got some products underneath there as well. I've got a load of Superfish products that I'm just trying out at the moment, seeing if I like them, seeing if I should recommend them, but so far looking pretty good. In truth, it's actually been 2 days since I painted that. I've just been back to the fish shop. I've taken a lot of the fish back there as well. The only ones we've really got from the original bunch now are the Archer fish are still in their tank. That tank is still fully set up. I'm going to be taking that down soon. And also, I've still got the goldfish. Many of you asking for an update. They're doing well. So the only real sort of tanks that I've got available at the moment for the goldfish would be this one. Oh, sorry, no, be quiet. Be quiet, YouTube. Sorry, yeah, the only real scapes I've got at the moment available for the goldfish would be this one here, which is a temporary tank I've set up, but I actually really like it now. This has got my shrimp in. There we go, there's one there. And I'm thinking if I put the goldfish in there, the shrimp are going to be decimated, so I'm not going to put them in there. And the only other one that I had, well, other than actually thinking about it, I've got that one. I've also got these plant storage tanks. I don't know why I did not think of this. Okay, I think I'm going to put them in here. Okay, that's the perfect one. Just to, yeah. At the moment, I've got them in this. So yeah, I put them down in this planted tank here, and they are currently sulking. They are sulking big time. They're like, we don't know this area. We don't like it very much. I'm going to move them out, to be honest. They're not happy. Okay, one thing we don't want is duckweed going in the new tank. There you go, little buddy. Oh, hang on, that's a tight fit. Try that again. There you go. All the temperatures matching, everyone, because the room's heated to the same temperature. Look at that. Yeah, I think they'll be a lot happier in that space. A lot more, yeah, straight away they're swimming around a lot more. I don't think they like the sort of crampedness of the other tank. So you might have noticed there wasn't anything in that tank before. Well, there was a lot more fish. I had cories and small sort of nano fish in there, but I've just taken them out and taken them back to the shop. So there was some beneficial bacteria being, created from their waste. Also, all of this greenery you can see at the bottom here, all the plants are from another setup. So that, again, is covered in beneficial bacteria. So they're all good for that. I'm going to stick in some quick start anyway, just to be sure. So for those of you that don't know, quick start is beneficial bacteria, and given the fact that these guys produce more waste than the fish that I had in beforehand, I think it's wise just to add a little bit of it just to make sure. It's probably not needed if I'm honest, but it's better safe than sorry, isn't it? Just a couple of little glugs should do the job. Sorry, one of them's going nuts. There you go, guys. They shouldn't actually eat any of this stuff. They're not interested in it. It's just moss, a bit of crypts there, this tough leaf stuff, and they don't eat any of this, so they'll be absolutely fine in there for a little bit till we can come up with something a little bit more special for them. There's plenty of size for them, look, tiny little things. Already exploring, love it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now, whilst I was at the fish shop taking the fish back, or not taking them back, that Matt's putting them in a sump for me. He's looking after them so that I can go get them whenever I want. But whilst I was there, I wanted to get some more shrimp for that setup I just showed you. Yeah, so this one here, I've got loads more in here. I've got reds, I've got yellows or oranges, can't remember which one. And I've got green hulks. Apparently the green hulks, they look quite black though, but I'm not too worried. I just like having shrimp. I'm going to put them in here for the time being, but eventually I'm going to, I say eventually, very shortly, I'm going to be doing a whole shrimp setup on one of the racks. Not necessarily this one, but I'm going to do like the bottom there, the 4 cubes. I'm going to place it across the top. Actually, I think it'll be a good shout on that one over there. So yeah, this one over here, I'd like this top whole shelf just to be for my shrimp, Caridinas and Neocaridina, maybe 2 shelves actually. I'm already getting ahead of myself. I've got a free shelf. I must fill it with something. So yeah, we got these shrimp here. Need to just make sure the temperatures are matching. Oh, they're going nuts. They're going nuts. They're going nuts. There we go. Chill out. Chill out. Put them in there and just get them matched. I don't think the temperature will be far off, but it's good practice, isn't it? Just to stick them in for a little bit. Okay, that's long enough. I'm just going to release them straight in. I fully trust the water. It's all good. I know the procedures the guys go through at Matt's shop, so we're all good. Straight in. Oh, that is sweet. Look, we've got loads of in there. I just go around and like, obviously when I set up the new tanks, I can pick each one off and put it into its own little section. During that time, there might be some breeding or something going on. I don't mind. I'm not actually one that's fussed about the colours too much. Try and sort of keep them separate if you really want to, but even now, look at all the colours moving along. I love that skittled look, do you know what I mean? Look at the size of her. She's a beast. Beautiful. And the reelies as well, the back there. I think Martin just took a scoop of a load of them and I just said, yeah, don't worry about it. They're all good. They're all good to me. Okay, so next up, I need some more light in some of the areas. So behind me is quite good. We've got like the rack there. We've got all these ones lighting. I just added this nice little sort of green accent light, eh? Look, getting posh over here. I've got another one to go to the other side. I just need to make the wire longer so it fits a plug socket. But yeah, over the other side, over here, look, it's a little bit more dull. So we've got some tanks in that can have some lights on, even though we're not setting them up yet. I'm gonna put them on anyway. They're all low wattage, they don't cost a lot, like they cost pennies to run each day, but when you come in, I want it more vibrant. Also, this tank here, which is going to be the next setup that I do with Matt. It's going to be a really, really cool rainbow river, another rainbow river, but peninsula style, so it's sort of coming out everywhere. Everywhere? I mean everywhere. Everywhere. I'm not that posh. Yeah, so it's currently got this light, which is the Fluval Plant 3.0. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that like indefinitely yet, but I'll keep it on for now. The back's all funny. I need to take that right off. The whole thing needs a good clean up, and I wouldn't mind doing a repaint as well of the black, because it's always better to repaint it than clean it, isn't it? Everyone knows that. And again, we moved this tank over here. So if you remember when it was up in the other studio as the angelfish one, it was in the center, and that's because I had to in that space. But now look, we've got enough room for the 2. This is quite cool. Underneath here, this is now my new water change system. So it's a normal garden hose pipe on a reel, and then it's a pump, a superfish pump, 2,500 litres an hour. You just stick that into your tank, and then I can unreel this, stick it out. Well, I can go over to the sink and put it into the sink, or I can just go out the door and just chuck it out there, whatever's easier. Now, my previous system was so fast that by the time the water was down, I hadn't had any time to do maintenance. Now, this is just the right time, because I've done 1 water change on this tank now. I checked the TDS and it was up to nearly 300, which I don't want it at. About 200's right. So I drained the water down, and by the time that system, oh yeah, I've got these CO2 checkers as well. Look, we're green, not bright, vibrant green, but more than enough green in my opinion. What was I saying though? Yeah, sorry. I drew the water down, and by the time the water had gone halfway, I'd done all my maintenance. I'd done all the wiping around all the sides of everything. I'd done my trimming. I'd done my cleaning of the glass, you know, and everything was, look at this. Look, all the female Betta fish now, they now know that I'm the feeder, and they also know that the tap, tap, tap means feeding time. Oh, I better feed them because I've just done that. Okay, here we go, guys. A nice little bit of flaky for you. Crumble it all up. There we go. There's quite a lot of fish in here, so we do need a good amount of crushed up flake, to be honest. That's a good amount. Now, to make sure some of the Bettas on the bottom get it, I like to just stir the surface up a little bit, look, and that starts getting all that flake to sink down, and top of the water column, middle part, so everywhere's getting a feed. So from some of my other tanks, I've also added a few fish. I've added about 10 autocinclus, I think I had. There we go, there's a couple right there, and there's that guy there as well. I've also added this neurite snail here that you can see. And also this one hill stream loach that I've had for like a year and a half. He loves it. Some people have been saying as well about the female showing some stress stripes. Now what you've got to remember is that these are juvenile betta fish. So apparently when they're juveniles, they always show stress stripes. That's really hard to say. But also imagine this, you're in a new environment and some guy with a camera keeps coming up to you and going, "Whoa, why are you pecking? What are you doing? Leave the snail alone, lady." Yeah, she's moving off, she's moving off. There's food for you everywhere. But look, yeah, these guys don't have stress stripes. I think also it depends on the coloration. So whatever sort of natural colours they've got, certain ones that are lighter, for instance, like that one doesn't show any, then that one there, it does show some striping. And then when you go right, oh, I just banged the glass, sorry. When you go right up close, you know, you're gonna see more. So I think it just depends on the fish and the fact they're juveniles, new environment. But yeah, I'm seeing not a lot of like aggression or anything. Like they're not even fighting amongst themselves. I'm really, really pleased with how this is going so far. And the whole sort of strategy or theory that overstocking it, like with cichlids, will result in less aggression is actually working really well. Look at that one. Look at the reds on this girl. She just stays still for me. There we go. Look at that. She's a beauty, isn't she? Getting all excited because the food's coming. So a few of you might be wondering why I haven't drip acclimated the shrimp there. So I don't tend to do that with neocaradinas just because I feel like my water chemistry is very similar to the shop. I've never had any issues just plop and drop in like I've done there at all. I don't get any die off or anything like that. And it's absolutely fine for me. If you're not sure, you should probably drip acclimate. It's just that I know everything's all good. Look, they're so active now as well. Look at that, the skittles just going absolutely everywhere, all over the tank. I want more, I just want more. You can never have enough shrimp, can you? They're just so cool. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, let's get some lighting over in this area. Both tanks, we might as well just go for both tanks. When I did that, I looked up to make sure I wasn't hitting the ceiling. Yeah, that's just a habit. Obviously, I'm not gonna hit the ceiling in this place. Okay, so ignore the dirty tank and the white at the back. I'm going to be scraping that off. I don't like that flat back. I do like it to be see-through like this one here because, oh, actually, hang on, the light's going off now. It's nearly time to go home, but I love how you see right through. It just adds more depth. So anyway, yeah, the white's coming off, but this is the new Superfish that for a 4-foot tank. I've never had this one before. It's quite new for them, so it's the Scaper LED 131, and you guys know how much I love their smaller ones. So yeah, obviously this one here is the smaller Superfish. Like, never mind our gorgeous betta fish there, but just look at what it does to all of those reds. They just look insane, don't they? And it grows plants so well. I mean, Monte Carlo carpeting, no CO2, no filter. You can't argue with that. And that's all down to nutrients that are in the substrate, but predominantly the light. The plants won't grow if they haven't got good light. Superfish have been absolutely killing it with these budget lights. So yeah, as soon as I found out they were doing one for a 4-foot, I was like, I have to have it. So we have got that for this one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in this tank yet at all, but it'll be something cool, as you guys know, because why else would I make a tank? I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, this one next to it, which actually looks really dim in comparison, doesn't it? But I think that's just the camera trying to adjust to the two different light levels. It's not quite as dim as it looks. Let me show you what I'm seeing. That's more like what I'm seeing. So this is the Twin Star, and this is the B line. So it's a much more sort of affordable light. It's not, oh, there we go. It's all falling off the back. And it grows plants lovely. There's no denying that. It's got, you can see on the reflection there, it's got blues, greens, reds, and then all whites as well. So you get a really nice sort of rendition. It grows reds really well. It does give a different look to the plants though than you'll get from the Superfish. This is a lot more like a, I don't know, like a daylight, like a 6,500 Kelvin. This is a much higher Kelvin. It's two different looks. It just depends what you like. I mean, personally, I love this look. But once this has got plants in, it looks a lot better than this purpley weird glow that it does here. Oh yeah, and I also replaced the old lights I had up here, which are very, very cheap sort of Hyger ones, and I've replaced them with the Superfish ones as well, just because I love how they look. And I just thought, even on my storage tanks, because they're so well priced, I want them on everything. So yeah, there we go, guys. We're out of time again for another day, but so much progress made. Still loads and loads to do though. I've still got to put 2 big 4-foot tanks in this section. And then there's 2 3-foot tanks going in the gap next to the door, which is bigger than it looks on video because of the weirdness of the lens, but it's quite big. See you next time.